Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are back on GTA 5 Online, and today we're checking out the brand new Benefactor Schlagen GT. So yeah, to begin with, it costs $1.3 million, which to be honest isn't too bad, but isn't brilliant at the same time. 1.3 million is reasonable for a supercar, let's say, but I'm not quite sure what class this is in, I don't know whether it's supercar or sports, but it's about the same sort of price range as the Ocelot Pariah, and the about 300 grand less than the SC1, so yeah, it's not too bad in terms of price range. Yeah, it looks, doesn't look too bad from the outside looking on the website, but I've just bought it and it's in the garage now, so I might as well just take a look at the outside in the flesh. Jump into first person, make it a little bit easier to see the thing, even though it's black, so it's not really easy to see the colour, or the angles of things. So yeah, it's based off of the AMG GTR, I think it is. You could either make it into an AMG GT or an AMG GTR by the looks of things, but it looks more GTR to me. Let's jump inside, keep in first person, jump into first person and into the interior and have a look at what the interior is like. Good start-up noise. And the interior is pretty boggo standard, pretty much the, I think it's the Spectre's interior, where this one originally came from.
What she need then?
And here it is.
Now
I really like them wheels, look at them. They're absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's have a look at the bumpers. I'm going to make mine a AMG GTR. Now, if you saw my best sounding startups video I made about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I used my PC and obviously used mods to get this into story mode, and I've seen the customization and things already, and I'm just going to pretty much do the exact same thing as I did for the car in that video. But we're still going to scroll down the customization just to show you guys what the customization options are. So I'm going to quickly scroll down and let's have a look at what we've got here. And to be honest, I did it a little while ago, so I can't exactly remember everything. So there's not many bumpers, I suppose. There's only got a few here. I quite like the one with the primary diffuser, so I'm going to do that. Rear bumper. We've got the carbon vents, primary vents, blah blah blah. I can't really see what I'm looking at. It's a bit of a pain. I've chosen a black car, so I've gone for a carbon diffuser there. Chassis, we've got racing seats. Oh, that's awesome. I forgot about that. You can change the seats, and you can have racing seats with dials, primary. Let's go to first person. First person, make it a bit easier to see what's going on. So you got, of course, you got standard interior. Then you got racing seats, and then you got racing seats with dials, which I guess is, well, say it says dials. It's more like switches and a radio over there. Then you got roll cage, and then you got a roll cage with in secondary colour. However cool that is, I think I might just keep it in the standard interior. Engine wise, no visual upgrades in terms of the engine. Exhausts, if we just put the foot on the accelerator just a tad, just so we can see the exhaust a bit better. So we've got triple rear diffuser, race exhausts. Where have they gone? Ah, there they are. They're over there. And then we've got alternative race side exhausts. So what's the difference there? Oh, it's got a different side skirt. And then you've got these massive competition side exhausts from the side there. Now, unfortunately, there's no like one huge exhaust like you can have in well, what it's like in real life, or two squarish exhausts that go on the sides. But unfortunately, we can't have that because it's not here. So I'm gonna have to stick with the stock exhausts, which is a bit. I'm not so fond of them exhausts, but never mind. Now we've got the grills. We've got alternative grill, then we've got double grill, classic, blah blah blah. I've chosen the classic grill. I know it doesn't really make much sense. It's called a classic grill, but it's fair enough. But I think they're probably referring to the Sterling GT. I think that's where the classic came from in that case. Now we've got the bonnet. So we've got sports vents. I'm just not going to read it out. Just scroll through.
Bubbles or something?
There's a few bonnet options. I'm going to have the one with the sports vents. Actually no, I'm going to have it normal. Livery wise, what we got? We got a red stripe, white stripe, mosaic, love muscle. Much just not bother reading. Just might scroll through. Got some really interesting liveries in this. I quite like the Schlagen GT stripes. They're pretty cool. Mirrors, so
cars
we've
you got
got
in this
primary
car
and
today?
carbon. I think in real life they're carbon, so I'm going to have them in carbon. Plate respray. Now, the colour I used in my video, I think, was a special colour that you can't actually get. Let's just have a look. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like that's the case. In real life, the AMG
Life is
GT...
hard when you can have anything.
I'm not quite sure if that splitter's actually like the real life thing. I might have to take that off. Don't look quite right when it's in black. Black hides a lot of the... Yeah, I think I have to go for the carbon one.
To match the driver.
I don't think black really suits this car very well. It hides a lot of its angles, which is a bit of a shame. So let's go for primary. In real life, I've seen some of these in like a grey silver. Also seen them in that green. If you ever played Forza, that sort of green that you can only get it in. That's the closest we've got, but it's not very nice. In debating what to do with colour wise.
No rush at all.
Might just go for like a stone silver, maybe even rolled steel. Oh, dark steel looks quite good actually. We'll go for a dark steel.
As good as you.
Secondary, let's go to a matte colour just to make sure we can see what's actually changing. What's changing? Okay. Right, so we've got first person here, so we've got the stitching colour, which I'm going to go down and stick that in classic, and we're going to put it in cream, because why not?
Look pretty?
Trim colour, so we can actually change the trim colour as well. Brilliant. I'm not actually quite sure what colour to go for with this one. I might go for a brown, might go brown, might go cream, bleach brown. Ooh, I do normally go for cream, but I think I've done that over too much now, so let's go and choose a different colour. White looks alright. I think maybe a brown, maybe maple brown? I do like brown interior, but it's got to be the right brown. So sienna brown's really nice. I like that as the interior, so I think I'm going to choose that. Roof wise, I'm going to go for a carbon roof. So we've got carbon. Secondary, alternative roof, carbon there. We've got a carbon roof there, and then we've got alternative roof, which has got a slight sort of
eye for this stuff.
bulge in the roof. Skirts, so we've got these ones going down here, which I think there was a carbon one if I can remember rightly. Not the one with the sticky out bit like that, that one there. So that one there, we've got a carbon skirt there. Good. Spoiler, we've got no spoiler. And then we've got the small spoiler. Let's not bother reading it out again, just have a quick scroll down and have a look. Again, I quite like the small spoiler like that.
To match the driver.
Sun strips, I don't know that particularly suits that very well. Sun strip. Suspension, yeah, I think this thing needs lowering down a little bit. I don't normally lower these things down, but it looked quite high, so I think that lowering it down quite a bit would make it a little bit better. Wheels, I don't actually want to change the wheels. I do like the wheels as they are, but it would be nice to have them in black though, which I know you can do with PC with mods, but I can't do it here. And unless because they're not alloy, you might be able to change them through like the iFruit app glitch that they've got. If it's still going, I haven't really heard about the glitch, if it's still going or not. But if you change the colour on some custom wheels through the iFruit app, and then go back to the stock wheels, I think it changes the colour. I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna give it a go. Sometimes it works with these. So we go to black like that, and then we go to wheel type high end. Nah, it hasn't worked. You can see the temporarily black. Look, they go black and then disappear. If you can see that. So I think if you do have the iFruit app and you do the and you know how to do the glitch, so that you can't do it for stock wheels. That's irritating. You can't do that. But there we go. So there is the car. Now, hold on a minute. I see the edge of that spoiler is in cream. We can't have that. We cannot have that. So we're gonna have to go for trim color in brown, and secondary we're gonna have to go for matte black. Matte black, why not? Let's exit to ground and give this thing a drive. It's such a good looking car, this one. 1.3 million so far. Nah, it's not too bad in terms of the way it looks. The only diss I have about it is the exhausts. It would be nice if we could have exhausts which are further apart and slightly bigger. That would be so much better looking, but just generally looking at it from this angle here, absolutely brilliant looking car. I absolutely love them wheels. Whoa. It is raining, so it's going to make it a tad difficult to drive around in. I can't say it feels particularly fast, but it doesn't feel very slow either. It's rather average. What's the class is in? So it's in a sports class. So again, it's the same class as the Pariah. I don't think it's as fast as the Pariah. The Pariah sort of feels a bit faster from my memory. Does sound good though. Whoops. Whoa, this rain is playing havoc with this. Let's go inside and have a little look around. Annoyingly, the interior gets wet when it's raining, even though you're inside. It's all dry. Well, it should be dry in real life. There's no way it should be getting wet through the windscreen. But there you go. I cannot drive in this game today. So yeah, so far, just by driving it around here, it actually feels like pretty good. Apart from me driving like a moron and the traffic going crazy, I think people are blowing things up around here. So. Yeah, this handling's really weird. It doesn't like the rain at all. But in terms of the engine bay, look at that. I didn't even bother looking at the engine. Man, look, that's brilliant. Massive Benefactor badge on there. So it's handy that I crashed a lot, because that means we could have a look at that. Whoa. Again, it sounds good, and it does handle quite well. It just doesn't like the, well, by the looks of things, it doesn't like the rain. The annoying thing is that I still haven't sort of managed to sort out my test track circuit. I need to redo that. I need to make a completely new circuit, and whoops, I need to make a new circuit, and I need to edit the settings so I can change to the weather. Because for some reason, when I made the track, I didn't bother changing the weather or making the weather changeable. So whatever it is now, because it's raining now, it'll be raining when I do the race, which kind of duffs the handling side of things. So I know it doesn't seem to feel very good driving around in the rain in this car. This is not too bad actually. It's just another factor of me getting used to the physics of this game, because I haven't really played it that much at all. The last time I played this game was probably when the last vehicle came out, which is Tulip, and that was about, what, 2 weeks ago, a week ago now? But just driving around it, it's quite a pleasant car to drive around. It sounds good, it looks good. The interior is nice. I know it's not a unique interior, but to be honest, these days, with Red Dead Redemption 2 being out and this game being like 5.5 years old now, I'm not really surprised that the efforts are not really being put into this game now, because due to like the age of it and the fact that the player base is probably disappearing, as players are now going off the Red Dead, or players are going off to like other games, because this game is quite old now. But they still keep updating it, which is really, really cool. So we're getting cars like this. That is a really good looking car. I absolutely love that interior. In this light, that looks fantastic. But I'm not quite sure what the plans are now. I might just give it a test drive anyway, on the do a lap circuit. But lots of people were saying that this thing is like a Pariah defeater, which by driving it around now, I feel like that's not the case at all. Like, just in terms of the way how it feels, it just doesn't feel like the Pariah at all. But we'll give it a go. We'll see what it's like. It's just a bit of a pain that this weather's against me. Stunt races, that's the one. I'm not sure what what I can do, what track I can make to do, maybe make the test track a bit better. But then again, the test track that I normally use is actually not too bad. And I say that we've got quite a lot of tight corners and bit of top speed going on. Well, not really top speed. It's more acceleration to and also there's lots of bumps on my track, which is good for the advanced flags. On the advanced flag side of things on this car, it doesn't really feel like it's got any. I kind of felt like it didn't feel very limited in the way how the car feels, but I know annoyingly all my settings decided to glitch, so I haven't had all my settings had to be reset. Sports class. So let's have a look at what cars we've got. So 1.3 million for a sports car is quite a lot of money. I think it's just a tad cheaper than the Prior, which I don't think is going to be any better than the Prior. If not, it's not going to be as good at all. So we have got the Grotti GTO, that came out the other week, and that's a good car, I like that, Grotti. So I think the Prior will be a good test for this car, considering that of this around the same value. The Aston Martin vanquished the Gatto. Annoyingly, we have to put up with the rain. I'm gonna have to get on with doing that. It's just that I haven't had much interest in this game lately. It's just I've been playing Red Dead and I'm really enjoying it. Annoyingly, I've actually pretty much finished Red Dead. We've got music playing. I'm sure there was music playing. But yeah, this car feels a lot faster somehow. Again, not forgetting that these cars are untuned. These are completely utterly standard. Unless it's like the visual customisations that I do to it. Which is tiny bit biased, considering that I put a spoiler on the back of the Schlagen, which I think improves the handling somewhat. So what are we going to score today? We are going to score a 1:15.675. Now the rain is starting to hold off slightly, so I know it's going to be slightly biased in the fact that it's going to be slightly wet on the ground for the Schlagen, and it's going to be raining for the Prior, but we can see, because I don't think the Schlagen can really stand up to this. It can probably fight its ground, but I can imagine that it's not going to be as fast. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be as fast in terms of just driving around in free roam anyway. I'm not thinking about the Prior and the Schlagen. They're very similar. Big boy for breaking the hottest tracks, and right, as I was saying about the customization wise, I'm not quite sure what the difference is, but I know with the Prior you can definitely completely and utterly change the front bumper. I do like the wheels of the Prior as well. They're unique, which is good to see. We're getting some unique wheels in these later DLCs, which is awesome. It's some more unique wheels, but we're not getting any unique interiors, which is a bit of a shame. But then you can only do interior design a certain amount of times. Why do those lights look black? Were they like that before? Whoa, that handling. Actually, I didn't realize how good this thing handles. Thinking about it, it feels a bit faster. Wow, that handling. In terms of actually the speed, it doesn't feel as fast, but the handling, wow, that is... me mic back in properly. There we go. Yeah, so we just scored a 1:14.8, which is, well, pretty much a whole second faster than the Pariah. There's me thinking it wasn't going to be as fast, but then again, in terms of the way the acceleration felt, and the top speed, it didn't feel as good as the Pariah, but the handling, that shocked me. I think because I was driving around in the wet before, and it was slightly just damp on the ground, but the handling on that was brilliant. It just stuck. It was so planted. So if you're going around a track that's got lots of corners, the Schlagen will beat the Pariah. But the Pariah, I think, if you have it on like a motorway or something, it will definitely lose. So there we go. That's quite interesting. And if you don't have a Pariah and you don't have a Schlagen and you want to find out which one, well, you want to know which one of the two you'd prefer to have, get the Schlagen, I would say. I think the Schlagen's better looking. Sounding, not so sure. I think the Pariah does sound a little bit better because the Shasta V12 sounds exactly the same, well, similar to the Schlagen, but a bit deeper, a bit better. But the Pariah has a good top speed when it's tuned up. It completely mincemeats everything else in the sports class. But then the handling side of things on this is just brilliant. Oh my god! Stop getting me copyrighted. In fact, I'm going to change that now before I get in trouble with copyright again.
Looking good.
Audio. I turned this down. Why is it come back again? For some reason, every now and again, the settings completely have to reset themselves. Like I have to do the brightness settings, I have to do the auto save settings, everything. It just resets itself. I don't know why it does that, and it's really irritating. It does. So, just driving around now, it's definitely a good feeling of car, to be honest. As I was saying this before we did the race, that it feels good. Wow. It feels good to drive. But it doesn't feel as fast. Even free roam, it doesn't feel as fast as it did in the stunt race for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I did mention this in a previous video before, that sometimes some cars can handle differently in free roam than they can in a race. Which is really weird, but it does. It does happen. I think stunt cars are mostly affected by that. So yeah, there we go. There is the Schlagen GT, based off the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT-R. Yeah, well, costing 1.3 million. Teeny bit cheaper than the Pariah. It's got better handling than the Pariah, and I'm not sure about the top speed, but it definitely doesn't feel as fast. But it definitely, round the corners, is just such a better car. As you saw how I went around that corner, that previous corner, that was just absolutely brilliant. The back end does like to stick out every now and again. It's a little bit unpredictable in terms of that, but if you're going too fast, obviously it's going to lose its back end. But it doesn't seem to like bumps too much, but it's not as bad as the Italy GTO, where every time you went over a slight bump, you'd spin out and you'd be really hard to control. It's not as bad as that. It feels like the advanced flags are not that not activated that much. So yeah, I said this is a really good car. The only diss I have with it is the fact that it's those exhausts. I don't like those exhausts at all. It makes the back look really weird. But there's no other exhausts that look any better. So if only they were slightly bigger and they were further apart, that would be absolutely perfect. But apart from that, this thing is such a good looking car. It sounds good and the handling's brilliant. But the top speed and that is not as good as the Pariah, but and the expense of it, nah, not too bad. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this video today. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.